What's going on, boys? No guys here. Welcome back to another video. This would be, I'll be honest, I think this is the best formation, most definitely in FIFA 20. Whenever I make formations, the 3-2-3-2 is probably the best formation I made. When you look at all formations, the 4-2-3-1 is definitely the best formation in the game. I've got some gameplay here to show you. You might have seen my tactics video on that already. If you haven't seen it, go watch it. It's not just a tactics, it's a D-pad tactics to players. Everything makes the 3-2-3-2 what it is. Basically, it's like a streamlined 4-2-3-1. However, the only difference is that you have an extra striker. So who becomes the extra striker? Well, not the left back, not the right back. The extra striker is the centre back. So when you're attacking, you have the back three, two CDMs you can argue, three cams, and you have two strikers. Because we all know the issue is with the 4-2-3-1, the normal one, it's only two strikers. You struggle to find attacks because there's only one striker. It's still very viable. I mean, it still is the best formation in the game. But the 3-2-3-2, what gives it the edge? I play a couple of games a week and I got a pretty decent elo. I think I'm unbeaten. So it should be at least, it should be matched against some fairly good opponents, or at least with a plus, plus 13, plus around that mark anyway. But the most important thing with this formation is the extra striker. That extra striker is the difference between you having that 3-2-3-2 and not being a 3-2-3-2. Now I'm just going to quickly let this ball go out of play. Don't forget, as usual, when you do change tactics, it does take for some time for the formation to change, so do bear that in mind. I'm just going to probably just maybe do a tactical foul here just so I don't get kick-offed. That's a red card, I'm done. Yeah, there we go, that's no red card. Oh, yellow card only. Yeah, so as you can see, look, the most important thing with this 3-2-3-2, I got the eye tracker as well on the screen so you can see my eye movement, and also got the control as well. You have to wait. Look at Mendy, okay? Mendy will go forward, but wait for him to go forward. That's the key. You see Mendy, look at my eyesight. Look, I'm looking at Mendy. He will stay there. Once you get into a good position, then he'll go up. He'll only go up when there is no danger present. So that way you don't get done in the counter. Like now as you can see, I've got 5 players up front. I have my 2 lambs. And as you can see, I've got my centre back creating a 3-2-3-2. Now the issue is, your opponent can't defend against it. It's almost impossible because you're numerically outnumbering his defenders. And you see that extra striker, it goes behind the CDMs. It doesn't linger around. Like you can see, if you look at the bottom right now on the radar, you can see the 3-2-3-2. The 4-2-3-1. As you can see, it's the same rigid formation. It's only typically speaking when that centre back goes forward when it really changes. And as you can see, when you're defending normally, the formation doesn't change. It's only when you have the ball. We're going to focus on Mendy again. You can see Mendy stands there ready for the counter attack. He fills in that position in midfield. Then once you're in the attack, he goes to the final third. And over here, it's easy. All you have to do from there is just have to pass the ball around. Now there's formations like my blitz tactic, the 3-4-1-2. That's probably the best all-out attack formation. Same as last year. There's also been my regular 4-2-3-1. Probably been the best formations in the game. Most stable formations, no doubt about that. And then there has been the odd ones like the 5-3-2 and the 5-2-1-2. Now those are still very, very good formations. Still, it's probably one of my favourite formations, but there's nothing like this formation because you see, with a 5-3-2, the only downside is you lose that midfield presence. The reason why in all honesty, there's only one reason why you'll play the 4-4-2 over the 4-2-3-1. Is very simply because you have 2 strikers. Now you can put the cam on stay forward to replicate it, but it doesn't really work as well. And that's where the 3-2-3-2 comes in. Also, one of my CDMs kind of drops into a pivot role. So I put De Jong there. So as you can see, De Jong, I leave him there. So he drops in like this and he can distribute the ball. So that's how I do it. And as you can see, when you go forward, look how many players I have now. Look, you can see Ribery, basically on mark. As you can see, Mendy swaps. So let's say, for example, Kante does go forward into the gap. Mendy will take that position to be safe. But once you're in the final third, he has full roam. Like what you can see this. If you watch Mendy on my peripheral vision over there, you can see once I'm in the final third, Mendy will occupy that striking position, as you can see over there. And then when you get the ball, you see it's so hard. And it's so hard for your opponent to mark it. I would say definitely try this formation before FIFA 21 starts. Can this formation work FIFA 21? In all honesty, I don't even know. Because you need a CDM. A CDM or at least a centre-back to play that role. The issue is, with Mendy, it works perfectly because Mendy is 5-star, 5-star. Especially that upgraded card. However, his regular card is a 5-star, 4-star. Maybe it can work. Maybe. but it wouldn't be as strong as this one. As you can see, look, when I get the ball over here, Mendy just occupies that position beautifully. And if you do lose the ball, don't forget that player will come back. You just have to buy for time, play for time. That player will come back. Unlucky, nice try. That player will come back. So when you do lose the ball, Mendy will drift backwards. That is the only weakness of the team, is that there's a momentarily loss where basically Mendy will have to go forward. So what I mean by that is, let's say I'm getting count. Let's say I'm counting my opponent over here. If we focus on a radar, we look at Mendy. As you can see, it's the back line 3. If you look at my back line 3 in the radar, you see Mendy over here. Now, if I lose the ball, watch with Mendy. Now, what happens is De Jong, although he's playing the pivot, he temporarily positions himself to take care of Mendy's role. So if you do lose the ball, De Jong will actually drift into that position. So don't feel scared of like, oh, what do I do if Mendy's out of position? He'll always be free, and you should be fine on that note. So don't worry too much if you see a player going forward and you're wondering, oh, is that player going to be advanced? As I said, don't forget as well, it does depend on what players you do have. Outside the box, it's the same thing. This is my favorite place to use the 3-2-3-2, because with the 4-4-2, the issue is there's no cam. And when there's no central cam, you have to bring one of your CDMs forward, but then you lose that midfield presence. But with a 3-2-3-2, look, you have that cam. Look, I got 2 strikers, and I got, as you can see, what happens is your 2 strikers, they split. And because your centre back's an extra striker, your opponent's defenders don't mark him as a striker. They mark him as a player. It's like kind of like how Messi would play in real life. People have to change positions. And they have to like kind of, you know, 1 minute will stay with one centre back, then Messi move away, then the centre has to drop in to cover that role. The same kind of thing happens, same philosophy happens over here. Mendy will sometimes drop deep, so the defenders can't mark him, they can't stick with him. So if you put man mark on your CDM, it will make a difference, because sometimes Mendy drops so deep into a false line position, you can't see him, and then a cam overtakes that position. So that's where you get that fluidity in a final third. And I said the rest of the team defensively you're 4-2-3-1, so defensively you're solid. It's, as I said, it's only when you lose the ball there is that kind of that slight transition period where you have to be careful for. And playing Mendy centre back is not an issue. You know, he's perfect. You guys know how I am. Fullback centre back is definitely the way forward. Especially even probably next FIFA as well. If heading is not too OP, I probably would go with a 4-4 back and centre back line. Again, we can see again we're gonna not gonna rush the attack. This is the key. Don't rush the attack. Do a quick 1-2. Play for time. You can't make that pass. Okay, he's going to switch the ball over here. And as you can see, look, now Mendy's in position. Now he's in trouble. See, look, all 3 of them. Look how close they are together. You can see Dembele dropping in deep. Look how many players he has to mark now. He's legit got 2 CDMs. And he's got so many players, he can't even mark it. And that is why, for me, it is the best formation in the game. 3-2-3-2. This guy's gone and it's done. And that is pretty much the reason why it is probably the most effective formation in the game. You can see, for example, like Mendy's position over here. Just focus on Mendy over here. As you can see, as I said, because you have the cam and the striker in terms of Neymar and Ribery, they will act normally, but that extra play just creates disorganization in your opponent's final 3. And then, as you can see, Neymar, who's my striker, then gets that through in position, and that's why it's just so hard to defend against. As I said, it's probably I'll probably say it's the most fun formation. I've been using this formation, I would say, now most of the time. I've been using that in case you're wondering about, oh yeah, what about the 4-3-3? Yes, I use other formations as well. They are all fun. But I think this is definitely the best formation I think I've ever created in FIFA 20. Yes, the Blitz formation is a very, very good formation, but it has a different purpose. Same with the 5-3-2. It's a very attacking formation. Your fullbacks are basically rendered unmarked. But when it comes to this system, it's just a different class. You know, as you can see, look, you can see the 3 strikers there. It's nothing that much you do. And even if he has his players on stay back while attacking, because you have the 2 this is the thing, because you have the 2 CDMs as well. The opponents, they can't park the bus too much, and that's what creates even more space. Because you play a 4-4-2, when the CDMs goes on get forward, you lose the other CDM presence. But without the 4-4-2, you have the kind of De Jong playing a pivot role, 2 CDMs, your cams kind of cutting inwards, and as you can see, look, Ribery interchanges with Dembele. It just creates such an amazing system. And defensively, as I said, it's a solid system. Defensively, you won't have any issues. The people say to me defensively there is some issues. As I said, there isn't. It's only, as I said, is when you lose the ball. This is the only time where you're actually vulnerable, and most of the time you'll have 3 players at the back. So the most important thing is do not put your fullbacks on join the attack. So don't even send any of your fullbacks forward. As I said, remember, don't forget, if you change this, and let's say, for example, you might ask, oh, why don't you just have, for example, one of the CDMs on drop between defenders? It's like De Jong, if he drops between the defenders, you make a back 3. Well, you see when the left back and right back, when they go forward, the issue is they do nothing. They're outside, they don't veer left, they don't veer right, they stay on a wing, almost next to the wide cams. The wide cams, they don't really come centrally as much. But when Mendy goes forward, he plays that role very, very well. And guys, hope you enjoyed the video. Thank you for watching. Take it easy, and I'll catch you next time. Peace out.